It's fine.
So hello.
Hi.
Today we were gonna head out to CMA Fest for one last thing and actually do interviews with people on the streets.
Yeah,
we have a lot of
hadn't
content,
done that yet.
So this will probably be like an insert of like a lot of clips here and there. Fun little montage. Here it is. Congratulations. Woo! Yeah, we did it. We went for 2 days. I worked Thursday. Did you work Thursday? No. You just didn't go down Thursday.
I did not go Thursday. I think I ran errands and worked from home.
But we did Friday and we did Saturday, mixed with some other things on Saturday, Musician's Corner. These were our outfits we were going to wear downtown today. I was going to include these fun little glasses, and I was going to keep them on, but honestly, they're giving me a headache, and I feel very disoriented looking at the camera like this the whole time.
Okay.
But they're cute.
Because I have...
So cute. But... we were going to go down today, it says it's going to potentially rain all day, and honestly, we didn't want to get stuck in that. There are a lot of people downtown, and I know CMA Fest attracts a lot of people, so you're going to be like, what? There's a lot of people, no fuck. But there's, like, more people than usual at CMA Fest this year, I feel like.
Yeah.
It is just crowded, and it was hot the last 2 days. I was so sick by the end of yesterday that we didn't stay out as late as we wanted to.
Yeah.
I just felt so sick.
And I mean...
and I'm doing this all again next weekend, too. But we're not complaining about anything. That's why we just
didn't want to like get stuck in the hail.
We didn't want to get stuck
because there was
potential
potential hail and winds and thunderstorm issues. So hopefully that doesn't actually happen. I mean, it will kind of suck that like if it doesn't happen that we didn't go down there, but for the safety of people, hopefully it doesn't happen.
It's potentially going to rain today on Sunday, so we just wanted to debrief a little bit, still get some content. Also, we don't know exactly how the montage that I put in here is actually going to turn out until I edit it. So,
right. Yeah, we'll see.
We just wanted to talk and debrief a little bit. We'll see how the rest of the content
We'll see how
goes.
It looks, how it sounds, because
we tried a lot of different things.
Yeah, we did have microphones, so some of it will probably have better quality audio than others because we couldn't always use the microphone on account of Alex's phone dying Friday night.
We had a lot of technical issues. We had a lot of random things happen. We had a lot of... it was hard to get into a lot of places. I don't think I have ever run across how hard it was to get into certain venues and stuff that it was this last day. Maybe I've also just taken off work normally for like the entirety of CMA Fest. I think we did that last year.
We only went one day last year.
Oh, really?
Yeah. We just went Saturday and saw Anna and Tiger Lily and Charlie, and that was and Hannah Ellis, and that was about it. Yeah.
But this year we just had so much going on that it was just like we were everywhere, and honestly, it got expensive.
Yeah,
and I'm a broke bitch right now, so
that's fair. Yeah.
But it was fun. Who did we see yesterday? We saw.
We went to Musician's Corner first.
And we saw my friend Kate Cosentino, who is amazing. You should all go follow her at Kate Cosentino. She was on The Voice a year ago now.
I don't know what season, but she's on Team Niall.
She was.
That will help narrow down whatever season it is.
Yeah. She's on Team Niall. She's amazing. She's incredibly talented. I'm so happy for her. She looked like such a rock star on the Musician's Corner stage. And I hope that's just the starting point for her for this next year. She works her ass off, so big props to her. I realized we probably should have asked her some questions when she got off the stage, but...
yeah, probably also should have talked to Lena when she was done, too.
But she also did amazing.
Lena was awesome.
Did so good, too.
She has great, like... she does the, everyone does, like, love songs and stuff that are great, but then she also does some good, like, conversation starter type songs, I would say. She has, like, 17 less, which is about the statistic that for every dollar a man makes, a woman makes 87 cents. Yeah. So it's 17 less. And then Witch Hunt is also kind of a feminist type song of women's rights and stuff. So, I love that speaks out through her music, but also she has the fun love songs and heartbreak songs and things like that too. So all over the place, all good songs.
And then we headed over to CMA Fest. We saw random people. Also, let's talk about CMA Fest for the aspect of random ass people that showed up. Because Machine Gun Kelly was there the night we were at Old Red.
Did I send you this morning?
Yes.
Yeah, he played There's Your Trouble by the Chicks, and I was like, honestly, this sounds great.
I was like, so, like,
people singing country music that you never thought would sing country music.
And I wonder if that's why Jeffree Star was there, because we have video insert here of us on the rooftop with Jeffree Star. Yeah. That was so random, too.
We weren't with him, but he was on the rooftop as well. Yeah.
Just alongside us.
Yeah, he's making TikToks in the corner.
There. Yeah. Yeah, all he did was take TikToks. That was legit. And then he went to the bar. Also, I didn't know he was still, like, doing things. I thought after he had some controversy a couple of years ago.
Okay.
And then
I don't know much of him other than just, like, his general, like, makeup sentence of bio, of like, hey, he does makeup.
And then he, like, disappeared, I thought, from YouTube, and so I was very shocked to see him there. And then, and I don't know who the guys were that he was with. Maybe I'm just out of the loop, but they all, like, looked very much like copy and paste versions of the same guy. Did you get that vibe?
I honestly didn't look.
I was like, he either has, like, a type or, like, it's just, like, very similar guys. I don't know. Very Morgan Wallen-esque vibes, I will say. We were also going to go down to all of the other bars while we were there, because...
That didn't happen.
But, again, it was hard to get into a lot of them.
Well, Chiefs, we could have used my fan club to get in faster if we wanted to go in, but...
Well, we went to the Hard Rock stage instead to see some of our friends, and we got some beers, and then by the end of that, I don't wear heels. Don't, like, I used to be such a heels girly. Like, I can wear these and be fine. Like, but they're not really, like, big heels. I was wearing heels that were supposed to be made for dancers. Like, but they were the most uncomfortable thing to walk around a festival in, apparently. So I was like,
I mean, my feet hurt from boots, too.
Yeah, but I don't get how I can walk around. In high school, I danced my whole prom. I never took my heels off. I was wearing 6-inch stilettos, did not take my heels off once. The older I get, the harder it is to walk in heels. I don't understand it. I hate it. But my feet were blistered by the time that we were finished at the Hard Rock on Friday night. That Saturday morning, I was like, I'm wearing sneakers. And honestly, my feet were fine. But I still feel the pain on the balls of my feet from where I was wearing the heels. So, don't wear heels to a festival. I will learn that next week when I go to Bonnaroo.
There you go. Yeah. Yeah, but we went to, it was, when we first got to Hard Rock, it was Brooke Lee, so we caught a little bit of her set.
Oh, yeah.
And
she gives such,
she has, like, that 70s aesthetic, too, that, like, Lainey Wilson and Brooke Eden have. They all kind of have.
She reminds me so much of Brooke Eden. I don't know why, but
they look a lot alike, too.
They do. And they're both named Brooke.
And they're both Brooks, yes, yeah. But yeah, she was great. And then we were waiting for Alex Hall to start, and Tennille Towns happened to stand in front of us for a little bit, and I was like, oh, they have a song together, so that makes sense, she's supporting him. And then she ended up on stage with him
at one point, and I was like, where is she? Why isn't she up there singing? And then, oh, here she is. And I was like, oh, there she went.
Yeah.
And then we just kept running into Emily Rose. No,
Emily
and music. Oh my gosh.
Emily Ann Roberts.
What? Emily Ann Roberts all day on Saturday for some odd reason.
Yeah, we were walking behind her. I'm like, those are some cute boots, and I like that dress.
We were like, and then that's such a cute outfit. And then we saw her talking to somebody who's like, my name's Emily, and I was like, oh, it's Emily.
She was doing interviews. We did not get around to interviews, but she was doing a good job of promoting herself.
Clip of me getting koozie here.
Yeah, I didn't get one. She's like, you need a koozie, and then walked away. I'm like, do I not get one? But it's like, hello again. Like, not that you noticed us the first time, but like, hi.
I hope not, because it was kind of awkward. We were like, oh, it's Emily. And I laughed and went away, and I couldn't tell if she noticed that we said that or not.
Yeah, but she's doing a good job of promoting. I wish we could do a better job of it. I think we're both a little apprehensive about going up to strangers.
I was trying to find friendly faces of people that were like open to it, and I was trying to find people our age. There was a lot of people that were like just parents' ages, and like I was older. Like, they just didn't seem like they wanted to be bothered, so I was just like, okay.
Yeah.
I'm sure if we would have went today, I would have just sucked it up and done it.
Yeah.
We
also have little QR codes.
Going up to strangers when I like am put in the mindset of, like, okay, I'm out here to, like, promote myself.
Mm-hmm.
I just, like, didn't know. You had the cards, and we only had a certain number of them, and I guess we were trying to figure out if we wanted just to start passing them out to people.
Because I got 80 of them, and we have 79 left because we left one at Old Red.
If you can find the one we left at Old Red, you win a prize.
Yeah, my dad commented on that.
Saying that here.
My dad commented on that Instagram story when I was on the phone with him. He's like, "What's the prize?" I'm like, "I don't know. Something.
I'll figure it out if somebody wants to.
We'll find something.
DM me on Instagram about it. I will find
if there is. Yeah, but
you will get a custom hatch print poster. How about that? Of the podcast.
Then we have to make one.
Yeah, I'll make one.
Sure. Okay, sure.
If you're the first to DM me about it, I'll send it to you.
But you gotta have a picture of the card.
Oh yeah, you have to
find that card. You have to track it down. I guess finishing up Friday, after Alex Hall was John Hollier, which I thought maybe it's just CMA Fest.
Clip of John here.
Maybe CMA Fest just put his first name because like every time he plays tour stop, on the bill it just says Ollier. It doesn't say John. So I was like, oh, is he having a first last name situation now? Because I thought he was doing like the one name thing, but he was great. It's cool to see like someone who plays Nashville tour stop, which we both play on a somewhat regular-ish basis, not as often as we used to, but someone who plays the same rounds as us being on an official CMA Fest stage. And he has a lot of energy. It was definitely not... It was more like southern rock and stuff than country, but I liked the vibe.
Yeah. The hard rock stage was like my... I remember it being like a thing... Like that was like my goal when I moved to Nashville. Was like I want to play that as my first stage. Like,
okay.
Because it was a little more accessible, I think, a couple of years ago. Like when I... Like, oh my gosh... like 10-ish years ago when I would look up vlogs of like people at Belmont and like they would go to all these things and it was like the dream of like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna play the hard rock stage. And I thought we could talk about how independent artists actually can get a chance to play some of these stages, because I think a lot of like the official stages, it's a who you know situation. Like if you are a regular at the Hard Rock Cafe in general, I think you probably have a chance of getting on their stage, maybe.
No, because it's CMA that's booking them. It's not Hard Rock that's booking it.
Well, it's the stage manager that can... Because when my one coworker, he was like... He, I think, helped booked it.
Okay.
Well, I don't know, the official booking process.
Because I've heard it's, like, all of them except for the Spotlight stage, which is the acoustic one, is, like, agents and managers and label booking type stuff, versus, like, the Spotlight stage is, there's a submission form online, and that's, like, the only one it goes to.
Back when I first started, like, knowing what CMA Fest was, like, 10 years ago, it was, like, a thing where, like, I think they had maybe a little bit more control over who, like, was the stage, or maybe it wasn't an official CMA stage. It was just, like, the Hard Rocks had
That's right. Actually, I don't think Hard Rock originally was a CMA stage.
So that was why, because I was like, oh, like, if you play Hard Rock, then you can, like, get on a stage that's, like, pretty... It was an unofficial stage, but it was basically an official sage.
Yeah,
of how, like,
because there's still a lot of people go to it.
Outside and all that stuff. Yes. So that was why I was like, oh, it was like, it's like if you play Tootsie's a lot, and then like during Tootsie's birthday bash, sometimes they'll have like
Gracie Carroll
played last year. So like there are like those opportunities. I think more and more as CMA Fest grows and is like becomes because wasn't this an anniversary year? No, last year was an anniversary year for them.
CMA was 50th last year for CMA Fest.
But this year too, I think especially it felt like maybe it's just, I feel like too we commented on the fact that we didn't know a lot of the people that were there, so it felt like maybe they were taking a little bit more chances on new people that were coming up.
But I also listened to the Hot Country Spotify playlist on the way Friday downtown, and I skipped a lot of things because I'm like, I don't know these people. So maybe it's just like there are people who are kind of like getting bigger, but like Spotify numbers wise and like getting on the main the official Spotify playlist that I just don't listen to because I don't listen to those playlists that often.
Well, and I think it's
also with Old Red
that we legit talked about before we went down Saturday. We recorded an episode, and this episode will come out before that one, so stay tuned. But we talked mental health and that kind of stuff, and just like how important numbers have become in this game. And it was interesting because before one of the stages that we were like we were like
walking by,
the only thing that the announcer had to say about this person for their accolades, because they normally have an intro of like why they got picked, kind of a thing of like
or like just things they've been doing,
and it used to be like they got put on Sirius XM and stuff. And I know I've stopped listening to The Highway a lot too, but that was how I discovered a lot of new people, because they definitely take a lot of chances with their YouTube spotlights, and CMT Country like does a lot with that kind of stuff too, of like independent people getting music videos placed on it and
I feel like legit things to say in an intro would be like, oh, their song recently had the music video premiere on CMT, or a song on The Highway, or recently opened up for insert big artist here, things like that. But this guy had numbers.
They literally just said that he had 1 million streams on Spotify and had a million TikTok fans, and like had a couple 100,000 regular streams on Spotify.
Yeah, something like that. It was like something with Spotify and TikTok numbers. And I was like, okay, and
that kind of thing used to be how you got into like the Welcome Center. Used to have a little stage inside, like there's like a little chorus stage, and they actually used to play on that one.
That was a spotlight stage, and then they moved it into Fanfare. So it's the same stage. Gotcha. Yeah.
Okay. But that was normally where you got those kinds of people that like made it themselves because they had like high TikTok numbers or like social media numbers, and like that was kind of more where you saw that. But now the fact that like official stages like that is because that's who labels are picking and stuff, and we'll go into that in our other episode.
Yeah, but, and I mean, when we had CMA Fest people come to Belmont and speak that one time, they legit just told us that numbers do take into account numbers when they're considering people, and I'm like, well, that's stupid.
But it also did seem like, for me and Katie maybe not knowing who they are, and definitely I know I've stepped away from country, so I'll give myself that, of like not really knowing so much anymore of like new music and country. But I do think that it was just a notable thing, because I mean, people did kind of walk over and were like, yeah, and all
I've heard his name before. I've seen the name before, because I still don't remember what she said the pronunciation was, but I've seen that name before, because I'm like, I have no idea how to pronounce this, because it's just like, I don't even think there's any vowels in the name, so I don't know how it's pronounced. But I've seen it around. Like, he's been around for a couple years, I think, just like on Spotify playlists and things like that. So I did recognize that he's someone who is around, but still, like, I feel like you could have had a better bio before you played.
It was just a very like striking thing,
and maybe
of us
it's
to be like it was very relevant that we were talking about it, and that was all that they had. And I mean, Jelly Roll's people that he has open for him are a lot of times people that I don't know, and like he's like giving them their shot, kind of a thing.
It's also maybe whoever submitted the bio decided that's what they were gonna talk about, even if there are other things that he's done other than numbers,
right?
But still, I was like, that's what you're gonna focus on.
It just seems like a very like low bar, and to me it says that he had nothing else besides that going for him. And again, nothing against the guy. I didn't stay and like listen, so I don't know. Like, maybe his performance was incredible. Like I said, he had drawn a crowd, and they were there to see him, and they were singing along. Like, don't get me wrong, I just it was just a very like trending thing that was already on our mind, and it was just like, oh wow, it was just very relevant, and just took into account. There is one way for independent artists, if you don't already know, to apply to play a stage, and it's called the CMA Spotlight Stage. Yeah,
and there's just like a want to play CMA Fest, and there's a submission form. The deadline keeps changing. It keeps getting earlier, so I don't know
Around
because
like
it used
Christmas
to be
time, you should probably start looking into it on the CMA website.
It used to be end of March, and then it was end of February, and then this year it was end of January that you had to have it in by. The thing I don't like, again, with the numbers is it asks you to, like, type in the number of followers and all this stuff that you have. You get your links on there, too, so if they check out the links, they could see the growth or the decline from there, but
and then we'll go look at the links from there.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, wow, okay, why?
But it's like, if you submit, say, you submit in December, and then you have something happen in January, so you put out a song in January, and so your numbers increase by the deadline, but you already submitted, your numbers are going to look lower than what they are at when they actually review. So that's
CMA
what
Fest does,
I don't like about typing in that number.
They do definitely, like, well, at least when we went to school, they used to have little, like, spotlight things at their building and stuff, and give, like, newer artists or artists that don't get a lot of attention, like, they give them performance opportunities and, like, ways to connect with fans. And so, like, I think they do good work as to, like, trying to stay on top of trending people and not just go with, like, who is getting shoved down maybe throats of people. I mean, obviously the industry is such a big, like, who you know kind of game anyways. But I think they do good work as far as, like, actually giving people, like, fair chances. So I don't, like, discredit them on that front. I just think that it's just... And they definitely do a lot more of an international reach with those, with the spotlight stage, I feel like, too. There's definitely, like, oh, well, this guy is, like, big in his country, like, let's bring him over here, kind of a thing. Because yesterday we were inside and there was an Australian guy there singing, so insert clip here.
I don't think we had him singing. He was just talking.
Oh, well,
but we do have a clip of him, but it's not... I don't even know what he said in it. He wasn't singing yet.
Yeah, we just got some, like, clips inside.
But, yeah, I guess back to the, like, not knowing the names of people, too. Like, Ol Red, too, I'm looking at the list, and I'm like, I don't know who a lot of these people are. And I don't know if it's, like, because it's a lot of guys that I don't know the names of. And I'm like, is it just because I listen to girls more than guys?
That's fair.
So maybe that's part of it for me personally, but
there was also just a lot of people I expected to kind of be there that I didn't get a chance to see, and I think we might have talked about that at some other point. But this year was just a very different kind of year, I felt like, and I don't know if that's just me not staying on top of new country artists as much as I am, like, new pop artists, because I'm just, like, in that kind of realm a lot more. But
yeah. I can't do that.
Yeah, and TikTok's just a very, like, weird thing a lot of times. I mean, it is a weird monster.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what else we did yesterday. We went into Fanfare, which is where the spotlight stage is, and kind of just shopped around, but we didn't spend money other than to get into Fanfare. We did not buy clothes, so that's...
So, if you don't know what CMA Fest is, it was originally called the inaugural Fan Fair, and it was held April 12th through 15th in 1972 at Nashville's Municipal Auditorium, and it was a 4-day event. It's still a 4-day event as well. Attended by 5,000 fans, featured 20 hours of live music and 100 exhibit booths, including autograph booths.
I would say it's officially 4, but there's unofficial stages that start, like, the Monday of, so it really is more of, like, a week-long thing if you include, like, Whiskey Jam and other things that are happening that are unofficial stages that go that week.
Right. And CMA Fest... It's a non-profit thing.
All the artists all play for free. They don't get paid, and they have all the profits going to the CMA Foundation, which is supporting music education. And they also have like a music teacher kind of award thing that I think it's like there's some local stuff. I know there's more Tennessee educators that get it, and then there's national ones too. My choir director from my high school got it 5 years ago, 2019 she was honored. So I saw her face on the big screen at Nissan when I was like working. So cool. And I took a picture, and I think I sent it to her on Facebook or something. But I was like, "Hey, that's my choir director."
Yeah, and this was the 51st year, so it's been going on for quite a while.
There's a really good documentary. I don't know if it's still there. I would assume Hulu would keep it up, but from
last year,
they had a documentary that came out last year about the history, and it was like a radio thing even before fanfare. Like, I want to say kind of similar to country radio seminar in a way, of like all the disc jockeys would come, and then like I guess fans decided to also come because there were artists going to it, and eventually made it like a festival.
Oh, cool.
So,
yeah.
And then there's just a lot of cool stuff.
A lot of free opportunities for fans and artists to connect, which I think keeps the country music spirit of like, the one reason I really wanted to get into country music when I first started writing was it felt like a family, because you got to be connected with your fans, and it felt like such a community, and people wanted to tour with other artists even if they were small or big or whatever, just because it was that family aspect, and everyone knows each other. And obviously the more I get to know the ins and outs of this industry, it's a lot different on the inside than it is on the outside. It's still sometimes. It definitely is a small town here in Nashville. It seems like a big town, but it's a small town, and the people that know each other, and everyone's kind of connected through that 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon in one way or another, especially around here. Yeah. It's very hard to not have somebody who like knows of somebody else at the top of each organization. I learned that quickly when I interviewed for my current job, and I was like, oh, okay. And I didn't really care for the job I did just come from, and I was like about to say something, and he was like, oh yeah, I know that. I was like, So we're gonna keep our mouth shut. So be careful. But pop music didn't really have that, so I was like, I don't really want to like have to try, and I felt like pop music was like you have to fight for
feels
everything,
more competitive,
and you have to compete, and I didn't want to have
feels
to
more
try to compete
supportive
for everything.
of like
supportive.
You're not competing like with females, like, because the stupid things of like, oh, we can only have so many females signed, instead of looking at that as like, oh, we got to compete for the spot. You're still like uplifting each other kind of thing
within the community, not
within the community. No, but yeah, I don't know, because I don't really pay attention to the meet and greet aspect of CMA Fest.
I used to a lot more, and it was
but I'm just like, oh, has that kind of gone a little? I feel like the bigger artists you don't meet anymore.
Yeah, like Carrie Underwood,
you have to go to your fan club
game used to be
things.
Fan clubs are expensive
because like, there's like fan club parties during CMA Fest too. Because that's just the best time for them to have those parties.
But they cost money a lot of times, which kind of sucks. Yeah, that's the only thing.
But a lot of like the bigger artists, I don't think do the booths anymore in CMA Fest or in like the Fanfare X area of it.
It just depends.
It's more smaller artists for the most part. They're still somewhat big. Like Lee Bryce, I know was in there.
Last year I saw Lindsay L. I think they had Carly. Yeah. I think they had Kelsey.
Okay. I don't know. It just seems like it's not like everybody anymore.
Everybody, like that was the big draw,
and that used to be
for a lot of people.
Yeah,
they would like meet.
That was like a big thing, was meeting
huge
people.
Artists that they didn't have to pay $500 for VIP experiences at a concert.
And it's like the documentary talked about this too. Of it used to be like kind of a competitive thing among artists of like who's gonna have the best booth, and they would like decorate them in fun ways. And I might have been Martina had like a whole like little vocal booth thing set up of like you can sing with her and things like that. So
I think it's because they got rid of that kind of things. Now it's like they have different like stations set up,
but they're pretty standard of what they look like.
That's what I mean. Like it's like they'll have like a Wrangler station, and then they'll have like artists come through and like meet there, or they'll have like there's a makeup line that like sponsored a booth, and then they like decorate that, and then they'll have like a photo wall where they'll like have people wait in line with like little signs that say like Carly Pierce line, and then have people line up, and then they just give times for when those people will be there, and then they go and stand in the lines essentially. So it's not really like artists don't really have booths anymore.
That's like dedicated
Warner
just to them.
And Universal and Big Machine have, like, I know last year at least they all sponsored a booth, and then they had like merch, and then they had some of their smaller artists like come at various times on top of that. But like artists themselves don't have booths anymore.
Right. I don't feel like, well, no. Okay. Because I was going to say, like, I know 2 examples. Hi, Aunt.
Hello, Aunt.
Hello, sir. 2 examples of, like, major meet and greets that have happened. Hello, sir. Like, I know Taylor did a 13-hour meet and greet one year.
Oh, really?
And then Garth did a really long one, too. I don't know how long his was. And then Lainey today at her bar, I know she just did her fan club party this morning, and then I saw a post saying that Bell Bottoms Up is opening at 1 today for like all day. She's doing signings and meet and greets for like however many people. So
Midland did that last year. I went in line just to see Midland at, like, they were doing it at Big Machine Distillery downtown.
Yeah, they're doing,
and then they do.
Yeah,
have,
Big
like,
Machine did do that stuff
because even fanfare itself costs money to get into. So unless, like,
it's only $10 though.
But yes, but I'm saying if, like, there's a lot of people that only come for all the free stuff.
Yeah.
But I mean, I feel like a lot of people also buy fanfare tickets because it's $10 and, like, not Nissan. But I know there's plenty of people that just come in town just to do all the free stuff because most of it is free until like 5:30.
Yeah. What's different this year is for some reason the Hard Rock stage is going into the night, but usually the day stages are day stages, and then the options at night are Nissan and Ascend.
And Ascend used to be free too. Even when our time, that does switch.
When we
like
went
last
our
year.
first year, it was free because that's why we went, was because we were college kids and it was free, so we were gonna go to that one.
And I think that was, I mean, I don't know why they changed it, and if it's just because to raise money more for the cause. Like, I get all of that. And there's still plenty of free stuff. I mean, you can go to any of the bars for free too. Old Red's free into the night, but that line was...
It was blocks long.
My thing is, I wonder... I feel like it's kind of them giving false hope for, like... Because how many people are just staying in that Spotify house all night?
Yeah.
Blake Shelton's, and then there's a 3-hour long line outside. Like, I can't imagine everyone's just leaving after a couple artists, and then they're like,
yeah, most people are gonna stay.
I'd stay if I got in there. I'd stay.
Right? Yeah,
I'm
camping out. Yeah. Jelly Roll was yesterday's special.
I
surprise
loved
person.
All the special guests, and I'm sad that we couldn't get in, but it's okay. We tried.
It's okay. Well, we tried in the sense of we walked over there and then we're like, we're just gonna go to the rooftop instead of try for the actual line.
There was no way. We were too late anyways. There was no way
this isn't
we were
happening.
Yeah.
Which is fine. It is what it is.
We could have gone to Santa's Pub though and saw Kelsey Ballerini.
We could have.
I forget Santa's Pub's a thing when I'm down there though.
Someone went to something else at the end of the night too.
We could have saw Eric Church a whole bunch of
I know.
times
He
too.
keeps popping up on his main stage after his residency this weekend, and I'm just like...
We almost went in. I didn't... Well, they had a line, though, too. So
but fan club's faster.
Oh, that's right. I keep forgetting you have fan club.
I'd just be like, hello, +1, cool, let us in.
Like, again, we would have stayed out so much late. I really wanted to. I feel so old that I'm like... But I felt sick yesterday.
Yeah, I honestly do kind of want to be a tourist for a night one of these times and just bar hop, but also we almost need to like set aside money to do that because everything's also expensive for drink wise. Not that we would drink that much because that's a lot. Yeah. I probably will do mine in town, honestly. So
because people do that and people say it's fun. Like being a tourist in your own town is not as cliche
I'll have to
and
see
awful as everyone likes to make it think.
I don't know. I don't know who would invite yet. I mean, I don't have to decide that anytime soon, but I know at least one friend from back home I would invite, so I'm like, I'll have to see if hopefully she'd be able to afford to come down here. But yeah, everything's expensive nowadays, so
Nashville has never been cheap.
That's why I'm like, how do people go and just get completely like blackout drunk. How are you affording to do that? Not that I recommend people doing that, but
too, though I do know that they just are very
I'm just like, I'm good with like one or two, but then that's like enough for the night, just from like a money aspect.
As somebody who starts drinking and then thinks that they have all the money in the world,
that's the
thing. And I start buying shots for like a whole room full of people. Like, that's me when I start drinking. So I'm like, shots. And then I spend $60 on shots.
Was that Christmas that where like we need to get food and went to Assembly Food Hall after going to a couple bars, and then I think we just got no baked or whatever, and I think Sam got food or something. But I had to like grab your hand because you wanted to go to the bar and get more drinks, and I was like, no, Alex, we're not doing that right now. I don't trust you to walk off alone. Like, you're gonna hold my hand. Like, stay here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm also very good at making friends with bartenders and getting free shots.
There's that too. Yeah.
I just talk to people, and people want to talk, so I'm like, hey, let's talk.
Yeah. Any other CMA Fest stuff? Because we actually have like a whole episode worth of recap right now.
If we didn't add anything else, here is the rest of our CMA recap in video form. If you're listening on Spotify, this is the end for you, I guess, and you need to go over to YouTube.
Go to YouTube to get the full experience of this, because I don't know what the quality of audio will be for the clips, and also I don't know what kind of experience that is if you're just listening and don't see what we're doing.
We might not upload the video portion for copyright reasons.
Actually, for the song parts, we might not be able to do that for Spotify. So, we'll see how that goes.
So, that's everything. Follow along. Check out CMA Fest now.
Yay!